Hi guys, this is Gypsy. She is a 2019 Ford Transit. She's a long wheelbase, high roof. So I've got a lot of room, as you can see. And yeah, let me show you around. Hello, is this thing on? Is this thing on? Hello? Welcome to van life. Alright guys, I'm going to show you around the van. I'll start in the kitchen and then I'll work my way back into the garage. Alright? Stay with me. Okay, so I have my upper cabinets, as you can see. Basically, they've got push locks on them, just to stop them coming out. That one doesn't want to lock. There it is. I've got a fair bit of stuff in there. I usually keep like heavy stuff like rice and flour and baking powder and cooking stuff in there. I've got all my proteins, all my pre-workout. I'm a bit of a gym junkie. I've got my Ninja, which I make acai bowls with and smoothies. It's amazing. It just doesn't move. It's on like little rubber mats. Alright, so this is my pantry. I designed it off a European style pantry. I got these containers from Kmart. You know, I have muesli in here and I have oats normally. I haven't been for a shop, obviously. Some spices, you know, olive oil, more spices, fresh nuts. I usually have pasta in here, and I also store like pasta sauce and stuff. And yeah, it's just designed like a European pantry, so slides out, slides away. Okay, so obviously this is my microwave. It's a hand-me-down. It's a Samsung. It's 1100 watt. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to use it because I didn't know if I had enough power, but it sucks a little bit of juice, but it's fine. It's the same as my coffee machine. My coffee machine, anything that heats sucks a lot of power, and I only use it for like 2 minutes to cook some oats or to reheat some food. So it's perfect. You know, I'm not trying to cook veggies and stuff. I use my gas cooktop for that. Basically, it just stays in there with rubber grommets. I've got little rubber grommets on each of the feet, which I double-sided tape put down, and then the normal legs, the metal legs, just sit inside the rubber grommets. So it's already heavy enough to not go anywhere. It basically just stops it from vibrating out of this. So these are my fruit baskets. I bought these from IKEA for a 2-pack. I think they were $7.99. They're awesome. Basically, you can just put any fruit and vegetables in there. They do get a little bit beat up, but I eat that much fruit on a daily basis that it doesn't have enough time to be in there long enough to get that beat up that it's gone bad. Now let me show you one of my favorite things in this van. So I know you've all been looking at this, and I've actually already had a few comments about it. They can't believe that I have a coffee machine in the van, and I love coffee. Like, I'm a huge fan of coffee. I can't get going in the morning without coffee. So I do have a plunger, but it's just not the same. It is not the same as an espresso, and this thing just pumps out the best espresso shot in the morning, and the smell is amazing. It fills the van, and oh, I can't explain it. You have to experience it for yourself. Okay, let me show you the drawers real quick. First drawer was designed off an IKEA lookalike. I basically put my plates, my scales, bowls, mixing bowls, and then above it is my pull-out cutlery drawer. So then I've got all my utensils. That one slides away. And then my bottom one has all my pots and pans, you know, my grater, some Chuck's wipes, baby wipes, and also my fry pans. Now this drawer under the sink has my fire extinguisher. It has hand soap, dishwashing soap, Glen 20, my bin. It also has my gas box in the back there. So if I pull this stuff out, my gas box is actually in the back there. So in Australia, you have to have your gas or LPG stored in a gas box so that if it ever leaks, it leaks outside the car, and that is a legality within Australia. So I do see a lot of Americans basically have their gas inside and just have a methane alarm, but you can't do that in Australia. So I've got that there, and I've also got an LPG alarm in the back so that if it does ever leak inside the car, which it should never, then that alarm will go off. I've also got all my plumbing in here, as you can see. Alright, so my knife stand is from IKEA as well. I think it was $8. It's just a magnetic knife stand, and it came in black, which matched my tap and my Gasland Chef and my coffee machine. So it was kind of a no-brainer to go with black. I basically store my knives just a little bit lower so they can't go anywhere. They hold up the top there, but once you start bouncing around and stuff, they do come down. So once they're sitting on the bench top there, they just stay. My kitchen sink is a Soffito, and so is my tap, my black tap. And I bought them both from catch.com.au. I had no issues. That was the smallest sink that I could find. It's 30 centimeters wide and it's 40 centimeters long, and that's the smallest one I could get because I didn't really want a huge sink. I just wanted a deep sink so that I could store stuff inside it, and when I'm washing up, it doesn't, like, the water doesn't go everywhere. So yeah, it just really worked out really well. This is my Gasland Chef. It's just a 2-burner stovetop. I originally had a Dometic oven with a 2-burner gas top on top of it, but when I received it, the fine print said that I couldn't use it inside and it would leak gas, so I just didn't want to risk it. The bench top was from Bunnings. It was $199 and it was super easy to fit. I basically just gave it to the kitchen people and they just fitted it, cut it to length. I did make a mistake though. In the fine print it says that it's sealed, but then it says that you have to put 3 more coats of wood oil on it. So I had to do that after, so that was a little bit inconvenient, but apart from that, it's all gone well. Touch wood. Now, I still had a length of bench top left over, so I decided to use it for my bench seat where I sit to eat and have storage underneath. So I'll quickly just show you that. This is the bench top that was left over. I basically just cut it out of that, trimmed it up, put some struts on it, and now I have a storage space. After I used the excess material to make my bench seat, I actually had a little bit left over. So I was like, maybe I'll make a chopping board. So this is my chopping board. It's just made out of my kitchen bench top, just the leftovers. I basically cut it to size, used the router, and now I have a bench top, and it's actually measured to cover my sink. So if I really want to, I can cover my sink, then I have extra bench space. I'll show you that right now. So as I was saying, basically cut the bench top out, sit perfectly over my sink, sink slides away, and now I have a chopping area. Also, if I do have stuff in the sink, I can put it on top of my Gasland Chef, and I use that as a chopping area. So I'm kind of done with the kitchen area and like how I cook and how I clean up. I'll show you how I eat now and where my table is. This is really cool. When I eat, I wanted to have like a concept where I didn't have to use a swivel table, disconnect it, put it away, reconnect it. You know, it was just a nightmare. So I started following boho vans, which are in America. They had some really, really cool concepts. So I came up with the idea to do a pull-out table on heavy duty runners. And this is how it turned out. Basically bought timber from Bunnings. It's about a quarter of the thickness of my kitchen bench top. It was about $50 that I can remember, and I ended up just buying some heavy duty runners. They hold 90 kilos, and I built this. So it just slides out, holds 90 kilos. I can do work on my laptop. I can have dinner. I just clean it up after I use it, just wipe it down, slide it away, and lock it up. This is my Vitre Frigo fridge. It's a 130 litre. I bought it from Caravan RV Camping. They were really, really good with the turnaround because of COVID. A lot of stuff wasn't coming with AusPost and normal post. So they had it to me relatively quick. It was about 2 weeks, and they told me that when I ordered it. I was fortunate enough because this fridge is about $2,000, and when I bought it, they had a sale and I got it for $12.99. So pretty stoked with that. It has a lot more space because it has an external compressor. So the compressor actually sits under my bed, keeps my fridge colder. So when you have a compressor inside of a fridge, it doesn't usually keep your fridge as cold as it would if the compressor was external and got more airflow. And Caravan RV Camping actually really helped me choose that. So I actually talked to their team and they said that this and this about this fridge and that fridge, and I ended up going with Vitre Frigo. So I had 2 choices between the Dometic CX fridges, and I ended up going with the Vitre Frigo. Vitre Frigo is made in Italy. That was kind of a big selling point for me, and Dometic were kind of out of stock. I think a lot of their stock comes from China, so I opted just to go with the Italian-made Workhorse, and it's black, so it goes with all of my other stuff in my kitchen. So let's check it out. This is inside my fridge. Basically, I've got 3 shelves. I can keep a couple of beers here, you know, soy sauce, mayonnaise, water, beers, fruit and vegetable containers at the bottom, like crispers. I have 2 layers here. I can put eggs, yogurts, fruit if I want. I've got a pack of Tim Tams in there. Don't tell mum. I got barramundi, acai, energy bowl. Also got some frozen fruit to put in my acai bowls in the mornings. And yeah, that's my fridge. Freezer, fridge. So you're probably thinking, what about when he needs to go to the toilet? Well, I thought about that, and let me show you something. So, below my pull-out table, I built a little secret door, and inside is my Thetford 365 2019 model toilet. Slides out, opens up, and then you're on. So when you want to use it, you just slide it out, pop the top, do a wee. Probably will never do a number 2 in it, but it is there if I need it. And then you just pull the front lever, deposits down, pump it twice, flush it, send it back. Alright, so that's kind of it for the kitchen area. I'm going to show you the electrical side of the van. I'll take you to the back and show you the components in there, and I'll quickly just show you the components in the kitchen. Okay, so my electrical components in my kitchen, they consist of a control board. Control board is 12 volt. It basically isolates my fridge, my water pump, my LED lights in my kitchen, my fan, and also my garage lights. So if I have any issues, mainly with my water pump, and I need to just switch it off really quickly so it doesn't pump water all over my floor, I can isolate it on that power board. The power board also tells me the voltage that's in the batteries. My dimmer switch basically is just a touch dim. You're gonna lose light here. Pretty simple. You can choose the amount of dim you want depending on the mood, but it's pretty cool and I highly recommend putting it in. So my 3-pin dual plug 240 volt, I've got one there and I've got one in my bench just below the camera here, and that just runs off my inverter. So my dual battery gives me 14 volts. My inverter converts that to 240 volts. So then I have normal household power. I can charge my phones, laptops, I can use my coffee machine, my microwave. Pretty nifty. Alright, so that is kind of it for the kitchen area. I guess I better show you the workbench. Okay, so the workbench. She is from Clark Rubber. She was custom made. She is approximately 152 wide by 200 long. I bought a bed from IKEA and it just didn't fit by about 40 mil, and because it was a spring mattress, wasn't going to work. So I went to Clark Rubber in Fishwick. They were so awesome. It was a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but it is so comfortable. So I got the top of the range in the foam mattress. It's got the eggshell top. Highly recommend. You know, sleep is a must, and if you're going to sleep in the van, you got to have a good bed. Clark Rubber. You can see I fit perfectly. Alright, let's show you the garage and the rest of the electrical components. Alright, let's have a look in the back, eh? Alright, so this is the back of the van. I'm going to go through all the components. Alright guys, so this is the garage. This is my Devanti hot water system. Runs hot water to my sink and also to my shower, which I'll show you in a second. This is a freebie that Dometic and Caravan RV Camping sent me, which was amazing. So it's a 22 litre ice box, so it can keep some ice cold beers in there if I don't want to load my fridge up. I have a 80 litre water tank, which is from Atlas Water Tanks. I have a filler valve here with a ball valve on it. Also have a breather. All my gas and my hot and cold water comes through these pipes here. Flexi pipes. Over here to the corner here, I'll show you close up is my 240 volt and my DC-DC. This is my electrical system. It's a dual battery operated system. My little brother is a auto electrician and he did it for me, so I was really lucky. I did have to learn because my original DC-DC charger, before I bought a red arc, shit itself. So I had to rewire and put my red arc in, and I haven't had any issues. So I highly recommend spending the money and getting the better brand. Red Arc is Australian made and owned, and they have a great warranty, but I doubt you'll need that warranty because their gear is amazing. The thicker orange cords, my power from my motor inverter charges my dual battery system. I installed my Red Arc after my original DC-DC charger shit itself, which was not a Red Arc, and it is a smart green power. So basically, if my solar's pumping power, it'll switch to solar to save my inverter, which is amazing. Above it is a giant inverter that converts my 12 volt to 240 volt. It's a 6,000 watt peak inverter, and on my keys is a little button, and as you heard that beep just there, I now have 240 volts. So I can be 100 meters away from the car and this will still work. So I have two deep cycle AGM batteries. They are 200 amp hour, but when we tested them, they actually came up as 260 amp hours each. So I have a collective of over 500 amp hours. In the back there I have a caravan power cord so that I can plug straight into the power leads that I have. So if I am at a caravan park, I can just plug straight into my original leads, and then I have 240 volt without using my 12 volt system. So my brother's pretty nifty. He's set up fuses in here. So we have a couple of MIDI fuses in this section here. Just pops off, just so that if I do surge in power, the fuses will blow. It won't burn out my dual battery system, which is a really good thing to have. So I highly recommend, if you are doing it yourself, make sure you research properly. Red Arc is amazing. So if you jump on Red Arc, they'll pretty much show you how to wire up your car. So I highly recommend jumping on their website. Otherwise, just pay the money and get someone to do it for you that you know it's going to be done properly. That is my LPG gas alarm. That is my external compressor for my fridge. I can keep 3 surfboards laying on top of my water tank, which is really convenient for me. I'm a big surfer, so that was a must in my van build. Alright guys, that's kind of it for the van build. If there's any questions, just comment below. Make sure you follow my channel, like my page, don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, I'll try and link everything I used in the comments below. And as I said again, just reach out. Cheers.